Hi everyone, Jerome Wright back here again with the image that I previously posted on my Geronification channel, referencing a page from the Lost Book of Nostradamus. What you're looking at here, folks, is a pope, a unicorned horse, and a pope larger than life. And you see a woman, seems like to be a woman anyway, over there dressed in red there. All right. This image is encrypted with information that actually shows that there is a manipulation of human genetics, okay, which actually is, let me see, which is shown here, mixing genetics of mammals, oceanic life, oceanic mammals, and reptiles. All right, to create new forms of life, which is actually shown, basically, which this is depicting over here. Let me show you here. I know that the green side of this pope over here represents reptilian life, meaning the ancient dinosaur, snakes, the whole nine, you name it. I mean, all of these creatures that actually represent a reptile are over here. How do I know that? I know that, but I know that from my other encodings, but I can go in and show you. If you were to Google this image, you go in and you'll see the head of actually a two-headed head of a dinosaur, one on this side and then one on the other side, looking like the behemoths over there, and then the other the dinosaur. And I actually highlighted them in. Then you have teeth of other creatures that actually are coming down there, looking like crocodiles. You have whales, the image of whales in there, the whole nine. Okay. Then what it shows you is how it all snakes over and comes up over here in a snake-like fashion. It takes two paths, one coming back up towards the Pope, and the other shown where his finger is cleverly shown in the mouth of one of those reptiles, and then it shows you how the finger is bridged over and new life is created. Now, let me show you something here with this unicorn. This unicorn represents all ancient life, dinosaurs, you name it, apes, all of the above. Okay, you think about of our evolution, and it is all encrypted, and some more. It's all encrypted here into the actual horse there. Okay, now these images start from down here at the horse's hindquarters and are shown coming up. Okay, even up at the top here, there is the head of a what we would consider to be human-looking head right there in top of the horse. The ape is along in here, the mother of creation, and it shows you how all of these genetics snaked out, and they're being recycled back in through the Pope. You're probably saying, "Damn, Jerome, how is all this being shown?" Basically, what's happening is the genetics of these creatures is what this is illustrating, is an ancient genetics that are actually going back in. This represents the mammal genetics on this side. This represents the reptilian genetics, and this shows the reptilian and oceanic genetics, and it shows you how all are being combined and new life is being created, and that's what this is all about, and that's why these images are all out there in encryption, in ancient artist paintings, in the Lost Book of Nostradamus, and many others. Now, let me show you what the Pope's reptilian face shows. It shows you, I know what all of these colorings mean. I know what the crosses represent, the cross referencing of genetics and all of that stuff there. I know what everything here in this entire pic means, people. I'm not going to go into full detail of it, but I'm going to show you a reptilian face of a Pope. I'm gonna bring it in close. This is Pope Alexander the Sixth. Look at the Pope. Look at the arrow at the Pope's face. Look at that. Do you know where I got that? Look, and he has the Popal cap on. Do you know where I got that from? I pulled that cap and that face from down there off by the Pope's feet, from right there, and that missing. I cut and pasted it from right here, right there. That image was already there to create that Pope. I'm going to show you the other image. You can Google the image for yourself, and you see I have other stuff back there highlighted because it's always encrypted. I mean, they use the foliage and everything else, the hair, and all. This is what the actual image looked like. I was running out of ink here when I made the image. That's what the Pope actually looked like as he's in the picture being depicted. I think it's a 14th century picture. Okay, and there's his cap, and I'm going to bring it in closer so you can see that reptile that's underneath his cap. That shows you the true face of the Pope. Look underneath the Pope's cap there, and you'll see that head that I cut and pasted. See the teeth on that reptile there? See it down there? Right up underneath his cap. This, people, is what this is all about. The manipulation of genetics. Okay? Unfortunately, I mean, I have to be the one to be the bearer of the news here. Here's another image that I showed you and highlighted that reptilian being underneath the cap there. Where we at? Right here. I even actually highlighted the teeth and everything. Can you see that pretty good? Look at that. So I cut and pasted the image. I took the whole entire image here, took it and moved it up and gave the Pope his true face, which is actually here. And I'm going to bring that in closer for you to see. Look at that, people. This is what Christianity is all about. It's a manipulation of ancient genetics and a cyclination of same. I can read this image. I can read any image in ancient biblical times. Anything that's dealing with ancient artwork that references it. Nostradamus' artwork. Da Vinci's artwork. Michelangelo's. All of these people artworks that are actually showing this. And what's happening is showing that the Pope's body, kings and queens, monks, their bodies are being used as vessels to recycle genetics from animals, okay, ancient genetics from animals and from humans through their bodies, and then sent back out again to make and create a new life. I'm saying that this is amongst the nuns. It's amongst everything. It's all around you, people. If you open up your eyes and take a look, the understanding is now there. Look at some of the monuments and the statues and things that are in your area that are morphed together. These multi-dimensional images that just don't make no sense at all. And you wonder why there's a person naked there standing next to a horse, or why is this that and why is that? I mean, this, that, and the other. I mean, it just doesn't make no sense until you start listening and seeing the facts from me showing you what is actually happening. And what it is genetics being manipulated from reptiles through oceanic life, animals, whales, dolphins, okay, and through land mammals, okay. And the horse is symbolic of that, because the horse, which I believe evolved from the duckbill dinosaur, all of these genetics are contained there in the horse. The ancient genetics. A lot of these genetics are still present today, people. And what happens is that these animals are still being manipulated, and there are some being actually wiped out. Another thing I want to bring to your attention is that you notice that in all of these ancient artist works and all, you don't see no reference in or anything of that of Africans or African life, which we all supposedly had originated from. You don't see no. Actually, there is a reference of it. And the encryption is the image of the ape. I don't have it highlighted here, but there's an encryption of the ape. African Americans, which actually originated, all life supposedly originated from Africa, is actually encrypted in through the ape, the genetics. It's a bloodline. These images represent a bloodline, people, and it's how it's actually being shown there. What else is there? Maybe that might explain too why, with the Pope using his body as a vessel for these genetics, maybe that's why that they had it fixed to where when they die, you can't give them a public autopsy. Their medical records are kept secret. You ever wonder about that? Huh. That's something to think about. That's food for thought. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I wouldn't want my body autopsied either and have all of these genetics from horses and I'm just joking though, but horses, cows, pigs, and all that, and whales and all of that stuff there found out to be in my bloodstream. They'd be like, well, what in the world is that doing there? Well, that's the reason why they do their own autopsies or no autopsies at all. That would be one damn good reason, wouldn't you think, people? All right, now I'm going to show you something else. I found out it through Da Vinci's artwork, that there's always a reference of a penis being made. It shows you a penis. Notice that the Pope is larger than life. Everybody, the horse is rearing up, and I showed you in some of Da Vinci's artwork that there's always references of penises being made. Okay? And I'm going to show you something. It actually shows, in this case, it shows the snake head as a penis. Look up the horse's mane here. Look at these creatures showing out. You know, the skin pulls back off a horse. The man is actually holding a penis there somewhere, in his hand over here, I believe somewhere. I don't see it now, but there's a penis there, and there's references of penises in mouths. I think up here, there's a penis in a mouth. Now, there's always a reference of a penis being made in these encryptions. Let me show you in this case. You would never see it because it's larger than life. Look how the Pope's clothing is. This here, people, represents the Pope's penis. And the reason why it's larger than you would have possibly ever imagined, and notice that that person's hand is on it there. The reason showing you that the Pope has these gigantic, it's a suggestion making that the Pope is loaded. Roman, let's say Roman reloaded, because the Pope has all of these genetics in him, has these mammal, the oceanic, and the reptile genetics in him, giving him this force behind his penis that makes his genes dominating, and that's why that is suggesting that. Okay, you would never even see it. Like if his robe is open and this person is down to take his genetics, and everybody knows that genetics are actually in our body, and they come out actually through areas of our body, which would actually be number one would be semen. Which brings me to Adolf Hitler, who was actually doing the same exact thing when he was talking about creating his superior race. Adolf Hitler, probably unbeknownst to you, I was actually at Google some information on him, and actually I can decode all of Hitler's too. He was an inspiring drawer, so I have some of his paintings that I'll be decoding later on. But Adolf Hitler was actually getting semen injections of bull sperm, you know, and it kind of makes you go, Here you have a man that's at the peak of his power, talking about creating new races of people, and you would have to think that, I mean, was he a madman? And here I'm showing you that the Vatican is doing the same exact thing. Not just through this lost book of Nostradamus image, but through many other images, through their own. I can walk into the Vatican and pull every painting out that's either on the wall done by Michelangelo in the Sistine Chapel or all throughout Rome, and even some of the stone structures on the outside, and show you the same exact thing. You know what I mean? They're calling themselves building this superior race. Okay, which actually went from ancient genetics, and this is why you have all of these people throughout the world. You have these animals depicted with our kind, and these precarious photos. I mean, it's phenomenal that I can take it, and it doesn't matter what image it is. I can take it here. Oh, I'm talking about what image it is. Talking about the lost book of Nostradamus. Let me have to do this before I. Now, people, I have decoded other images with them. Look at this. Look at this image right here. I'm gonna go. These encryptions are worn on their sleeves. Now, and I highlighted a couple. Look at this reptilian-like being I gave a face right here on this queen's arm, and then I showed you other encryptions in the body. This is another page from the Lost Book of Nostradamus. Look at this reptilian being here, showing you in another state, and then look at this nun here in their body. That's where Nostradamus, if he in fact made this book, shows where they actually put these beings as they morph. Now I have to go back a little bit more, or either can I go up higher? I'm gonna show you something here, what I can do. Now, I'm going to turn the image for a minute in this Lost Book of Nostradamus image. I'm running out of time here. I might have to make another video because I'm running out of time. I'm going to show you something right quick. If I can do this real quick. I can't see the face there, actually. Why should I do it like this? Oh, there you go. I had it upside down. I had it upside down, and I'm killing time here. Well, anyway, here, I have to go quick now. Here, I'm going to do it real quick. Imagine an eye here. There's a bearded fella there. There's a face of a man right there. Okay, this turned the other way in the grass. There's a face of an ape. It shows you how they were used as bridges to evolve through the transition of the creation of man. Now, it's not them per se, but it's the bloodlines that they're representing in these reptilian beings that shows you how that was actually made. Now listen, my time is up here, people. I'm going to have to go. I probably have to make another video with this. So just take that and digest that until the next video comes up. Okay, thank you. I'm going to go with that, and I'm on Geronification, or you can Google my name, Gerone Wright.